What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. It's not too hard to guess from the title of this video, but I'm going to tell you exactly why the Rey is Shmi Skywalker theory is wrong. If you haven't heard of the latest iteration of this theory, it appeared on the Star Wars speculation boards over on Reddit, and it was posted by a user going by the handle Darth Corleone. Now, before I get into causing fans of this theory to have complete and total meltdowns, I want to say that if you're new here, hey, I talk about the hero's journey in Star Wars, comic book, and martial arts movies so that you can take the lessons that our heroes learned and apply them to your real lives. Being an urban acolyte is about training to become the hero of your own story, and I want to help you on that path. Now, if this sounds like something that you want to support, hey, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to know when I post new material, hey, ring that bell and enable those notifications. But okay, I'm going to share the Shmi Skywalker is Rey theory straight from how I read it off of Reddit. And then I'm going to tell you exactly why I think it's wrong. All right, so it reads, Plagueis and Palpatine's quest for immortality involved using the Force to control time. They discovered time travel was possible by accessing the world between worlds. Palpatine manages to do it, and while traveling 75 years into the future, he senses a being more powerful in the Force than anyone he's ever encountered, Rey. So in The Rise of Skywalker, Palpatine appears out of the Force time vortex and takes Rey back 75 years into the past, to about 10 years before the events in The Phantom Menace. Rey manages to escape from Palpatine, but knowing Palpatine would surely find her, she cuts herself off from the Force like she saw Luke do on Ahch-To. She takes Luke's last name, and in a twist of irony, she ends up a slave on a desert planet. Now, that's just how she started out. She accepts that she's stuck there, and the last shot of the saga reveals a pregnant Rey or Shmi looking out at a twin sunset. So all the speculation about Palpatine using the Force to create Anakin is true from a certain point of view. He used the Force to bring Anakin's mother from the future. Who was the father? I don't know. Maybe Ben or Kylo Ren. So that's the theory. And I guess there are people who are fans of this theory. Hey, that's cool. Here's the thing though. With all of these fan theories that give these Star Wars fans a happy lightsaber down in the pants, it's always based on a statement that usually isn't true. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that they have to make up that follows that untrue statement. It's like I'm going to say this thing that's totally not true, but I'm going to make it true. And let's take that false statement and assume that all these other things that happen that I think are going to happen as a result of that untrue statement. I mean, that's literally how every Star Wars theory works. And it's why they always end up being not true. I mean, it makes them bad, for real. Like, if any of these theories are good, it's because you can't pick the false statement, or you just don't want to. With this one, the very first line is false. Look, it says Plagueis and Palpatine's quest for immortality involved using the Force to control time. That's not true. Plagueis was on a quest for immortality, not Palpatine. The Sith are all obsessed with physical immortality, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily their quest. Palpatine literally sought unlimited power. The path to unlimited power involved the final secrets of the dark side of the Force. It was a secret that Palpatine and Plagueis learned together. Plagueis wanted to use it to become immortal, but Palpatine wanted to use it to basically become a god by controlling the full power of the dark side of the Force. And I wouldn't necessarily call gaining access to the world between worlds some Sith ritual to release the full power of the dark side, when the only person who actually was able to gain access to the world between worlds was Ezra Bridger, using the Force and solving a puzzle that involved the ones for Mortis. Now, we're supposed to believe that Palpatine used the world between worlds to save himself. And then Rey time travels to Tatooine, where she gives birth to Anakin Skywalker. I mean, Anakin is actually her love child with Ben Solo? I mean, yeah, this makes everyone liars. It would mean that Anakin is not the chosen one. Look, the prophecy of Mortis, the prophecy of the chosen one, was that a being conceived by the midichlorians would be born to bring balance to the Force and to defeat the Sith. Anakin brought balance to the Force and he defeated the Sith. Now, if the Sith managed to come back, what does that have to do with Anakin? I mean, there's also a prophecy about the Sith returning. And as I've said in other videos, these prophecies aren't always specific. They can be timeless and they can apply to other situations. So if Rey cuts herself off from the Force and she changes her name to Shmi Skywalker, why would she live out the rest of her life as a slave? Like, why would she allow herself to be captured and tortured by sand people? I mean, you want me to believe that Rey is just living on Tatooine as Shmi Skywalker and no Force ghosts ever contact her? Oh, you didn't know that Force ghosts exist outside of time and space? Look, go back to one of my old videos. This was before I knew anything about the world between worlds. See, the Force is strong with me. I tried to describe a place outside of time and space that turned out to be exactly what the world between worlds is. And I posted that video in January or February of 2016 in a video about Yoda appearing in episode 8. Look, y'all, I know that cognitive dissonance is a real thing. Someone who thinks this is a good theory will say that I haven't debunked anything. I mean, it's cool. If you want to believe this would actually happen, hey, do you, dog? But even if you didn't catch the stuff that Darth Corleone made up or got wrong, it still doesn't make sense. Also, one more thing that needs to be made really clear. Palpatine did not create Anakin from any point of view. I don't care what you think that panel in Vader number 25 said. It's basically a dream or a vision. It's not to be taken literally. Even Leland Cheese said not to take it literally. The only point of view that Palpatine created Anakin was this. All the stuff Palpatine was doing to enact his plan that created the conditions for the Force to strike back, and that caused the Chosen One to be conceived. That's it. Palpatine didn't cast some dark side magic spell that caused Shmi to get pregnant. Palpatine was not secretly Anakin's father. Palpatine did a bunch of really bad stuff, and the Force decided, oh, it's time for the Chosen One to appear. That's it. So like I said, this Rey being Shmi Skywalker stuff, really bad theory. I mean, why do people have a problem with new characters being introduced to Star Wars? It's like everyone has to be related to someone else. If you really need to watch something where all the characters are related to other characters, look, stop watching Star Wars and go look at fucking Days of Our Lives. Everyone is either a Horton or a Brady. And if they aren't, well, then they're going to marry a Horton or a Brady or find out that they've secretly been a Horton or a Brady the whole time. If you want the Star Wars of our lives, hey man, have at it. But it's ridiculous that we can't have new characters. Like Finn is either related to Lando or Mace Windu because those are the only black characters with major roles in the saga. Poe has to secretly be Han Solo's kid because his actual parents were retconned in the Return of the Jedi 30 years later. Rey has to be the first Skywalker because a new character being the hero for a new generation is apparently too much for some people to handle. But anyway, look, that's all I got to say about this theory. And like most of these theories, it sucks. For real. It really does. Search your feelings. You know this to be true. And if you feel some kind of way about it, I don't know, cry in the comments. I drink fanboy tears and I know things about Star Wars that the fanboys don't. I guess that's just part of being an urban acolyte. So hey, if you like this video, hey, hit that like button and share it with your friends. And if you have something to share with the urban acolyte community, post it down below in the comments and I'll be checking back to see what you have to say. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. Embark on the journey to become the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. If you like this video and you want to see more, be sure to check out these videos on the top theories for Star Wars Episode 9. You can also check out this other video that YouTube has picked just for you. But hey, that's all I got for this video. So thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing and may the force of others be with you. Always.